Preemies miss the opportunity to learn how to naturally find breast and drink in those critical early days because they're in the incubator wearing medical gears. So, NICUs have their system together to collect and process the breast milk from the mothers and to feed it to the preemies. Hi, and welcome to Never Too Early. Today, I want to share how the hospital fed preemies in the NICU where we stayed. Pumping is a core part of the NICU mom's experience, especially when a child is born very early. It serves as a vital bridge to breastfeeding. Some preemies born at a later gestational age can start breastfeeding much sooner, which is a blessing. A nurse even told me about a 28-week-old preemie who started breastfeeding, which is an exceptional case. But in many cases, pumping and feeding via tube or bottle is a normal part of preemie development. Breast milk is even more important for preemies. It supports immunity, gut development, and overall growth in ways that are especially protective for very small babies. For an extremely premature baby, they aren't just there to latch yet. They are too small and lack the strength and muscle coordination required to suck, while hormones started working in the mother's body to begin producing milk as soon as the baby is born. Breastfeeding is almost like a forgotten instinct that has to be relearned when the baby is ready for it. I found that absolutely fascinating. So there's a system that hospital built to work between mom's body that's producing milk and the baby who cannot receive it directly yet, or mom's body still preparing to produce while the baby is needing nutrition. And this is how the milk supply system worked at the hospital we stayed. When a mother turns in the breast milk that she pumped and labeled to the collection desk in the shared room, the nurse takes it to the dedicated station where they process, pasteurize, freeze, and store it. Then the exact prescribed amount is defrosted and prepared for every feeding session. In the early days or weeks, the nurses take care of feeding, which happened around every 2 hours. Depending on how ready the baby and parents are, parents can slowly take over the feeding job. In our case, the amount started just at zero point 0.5 milliliter per feeding in the first days, and that increased to 50 ml per feeding by the time we left the hospital 4 months later. Some preemies can start drinking directly from the breast earlier than others, and some may rely on the bottle a bit longer during the transition. All in all, once they can fully drink from either the bottle or the breast, they meet one of the key requirements to go home. Feeding the baby at the NICU was a systemized process which moved through stages. Stage one was donor milk. In the first couple of days while I was starting to pump, we had to choose between formula and donated milk, and we went for the donated milk. I am so grateful for those moms who donate their breast milk so that all these preemies can be fed when they are the most vulnerable. It truly is life saving. Stage two was feeding with a syringe via a feeding tube. I started pumping as soon as I settled into the hospital. At the time, I was so overwhelmed and confused, but the nurses kept insisting that I had to start. So, looking back, I am so grateful they did so that I was able to start producing milk for my own baby. Then the hospital processes the milk, and the babies were fed with a syringe via a feeding tube, which was constantly installed through their nose or mouth until they reached their next stage. Stage three was breastfeeding training and bottles. The baby and I started breastfeeding training, which helps a baby relearn the instinct and develop the muscles required for it. This helped him eventually move from the syringe to bottle feeding and then finally to breastfeeding. The entire system is designed, built, and diligently carried out around feeding preemies with minimal risk at each stage of their prematurity and development. I want to thank the medical team for all the support and care and the moms who donated their breast milk. It really is incredible. Just for feeding these tiny babies, so many components are working like a clock, coming together in perfect coordination. Because of all of this, the donor moms, the lactation specialists, the nurses managing every half a milliliter, every preemie gets fed safely and has a chance to grow stronger every single day. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next episode. This is Never Too Early.